Alright, I'm back. Noodles are made, and also an instant coffee for myself. I kind of realized why. I felt like I really needed some more coffee. I only had an instant coffee this morning, not our nice, good, rich coffee. And it's tasty. I like me some instant every now and then. It's a nice little break, right? It's a nice little break away from the good coffee, I guess, but there's almost no caffeine in it. Like the instant mix that we have it's one of those really flavorful kind of, like it's meant to be like a whole thing, right? And it's tasty, but not very caffeinated. It has caffeine, it's just not a lot. It's not nearly as much as the, like, freshly ground bean espresso that we're used to, right? So it's kind of... Yeah, so, like, when that's all I have in the morning... yeah, like, after a while I just start falling asleep on myself. Well, not really falling asleep, but it's more like I'm very unfocused, right? Also, hey there, Cyber! Sorry, you kind of came in, I guess, right when I was AFKing, right? Sorry about that. But yeah, instant noodles. Noodles for the wife, instant coffee for me. And a nice little, like, cinnamon cookie chocolate thing to go with my coffee. I'm still sipping on it, too. Still sipping on my coffee. It does feel good, a nice warm beverage on a cold day, though. Ugh. Oh, tea. I will admit, there's only a very few types of tea I like. And we'll get to the adventure in a sec here, but I'm still sipping coffee. When it comes to tea, I really only like fruity teas, right? And I can either drink them, you know, nice and warm with some honey or sugar or something, or I can let it cool off and kind of have like a sweet, fruity iced tea, right? I like that too. But that's really the only form of tea that I like. I don't like any other kind of tea. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't taste good to me. That's because I did not grow up with tea. I was not raised around tea. We didn't drink tea. No one drank tea. So I don't have a taste for it. Oh, still playing Eve. Man, one day, maybe I'll take a quick look at it for a stream. Maybe, but I can't go back to Spaceship Land. I can't go back. Never again. Some really cool designs, though. Some pretty cool ship designs in that game. I'd like to see him in a different game. That's what I can say. Alright, so, okay, I'm preparing to do a bit of the adventuring here. So I got my single high potion, I've got stealth items, which I will definitely need. I've got 2 forms of food. The melon pies, I can put those back in storage. Don't need that anymore. No, that wouldn't go there. It'd go in the satchel. There we go. Multiple inventories to sort. Okay, I've got pet food. I've got... oh, I don't know what to do with that. I have these Tarut the Fool cards, but I'm not even really sure what... like, I guess I could put up a... I don't know, like, I could put up a bazaar and see if anyone would buy them or something. So I'll leave that, just leave that there for now. Alright, the wife is very happy with the ramen bowls. I'm sure you heard it, too. But yeah. Big ramen bowls. Wooden spoon. Wooden spoon.
Would make less sound than the plastic one.
Oh man, FF14 while listening along. Oh, that's crossing the streams on multiple layers.
But you're not supposed to cross the streams.
Though it does just remind me though that it hasn't happened in a while, but every now and then it used to be that people would come in here and they were looking up Final Fantasy XIV streams and somehow Twitch sent them this way, which is, I don't know how that works exactly. I guess it's just Final Fantasy and online, but I just feel like they would be so confused. They'd be so very confused. Oh, maybe like, what, like people that just aren't paying attention and they stream FF14 on FF11, like they just weren't paying attention to the game they put in. And welcome back, Vexus. I also am back with some instant coffee. Alright, before I go doing any dungeon crawling, I want to make sure I really am prepared. I kind of want to hit up the orcs in Davoy, and that's... yeah, man, they can really hurt. Like, they can just wipe my pet out. I mean, actually, maybe it would be better to go in with a different type of pet. The crab! I just thought about it. The crab pet, they have a... I mean, they have higher resistances, not just, like, I think they have higher resistance to magic, right? But they have an ability that makes them resist magic more. I don't really know how much good it would do me, though. I kind of feel like the pet's health isn't so much the problem as just the AoE sleeps, the AoE poisons. That's kind of more the problem, I'd say. But you know what I never bring, and I really should? I never bring any form of, like, poison cure. Now, antidotes. It's not that expensive to get a stack of antidote, but, like, there's some that cure more than just poison, right? Yeah, so that's paralysis, silence, blindness, poison, and disease. That's a lot. I don't know that I actually need that much. Yeah, I don't know that I need that much. I'd say maybe... maybe just go with a poison cure, right? A couple poison cures. I don't even feel like I need a lot of them, because honestly, I'm willing to just take the hit on poison most of the time, right? I'm willing to take the hit most of the time, but then again, it could be a good thing to have. So let's get a full stack. It's medicine I can keep in my storage. Keep it in the medicine cabinet. And yeah, I guess, like, people, I mean, I can see how people would just, through not paying full attention, could stream a game to the wrong category. Admittedly, I think I've done that at least once or twice, when I go from playing one game one day, and then I'm playing another one the next day, and I might set the title, but I forget to change the game out, right? I have my moments too, so I can see how that would happen. I couldn't see how it would happen regularly, because once it happens the first time, you get very aware of it, you know? Time to double check everything. Okay, well, I think that's all I really need for items. But we're not gonna start with Davoy. So, I'm thinking Garlage, right? Or, I wonder, before we head out of town, so I just want to make sure I can't get my compatibility tested again just yet, right? I gotta wait another day, right? I would just so much love to have this done and over with, you know? Okay, yeah. Alright. I hate this quest. I hate it. Alright, so yeah, I need to go to Davoy, Garlage. I need to just kill an Ahriman somewhere. And then go to the Maze of Shakrami with a lens. I'm thinking... the lens would honestly probably be the easiest thing to do. Like, not the most fun thing, but the easiest thing. So yeah, let's go to Bucidine first, kill some Ahriman, and then come back around and then hit Garlage, because I think that as long as I can get to the enemies, that also should be easy to do. The hard part is gonna be Davoy. That's gonna be the hard part. Yeah. I'm trying to knock out quests for Sleepka too. I kinda hate it so far, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. The actual quest though, like the actual quest that gives you Sleepka too, I don't think that'll be so hard. I think as a 75 Beastmaster, I probably got it, right? I'm probably good to go on that one. But yeah, it's just so much nonsense leading up to it. Okay, so Bucidine. You can get Ahriman lenses from the ones out at Bucidine, I think. I mean, I could also go to Zarkabard. Anywhere with Ahriman is good enough, but I've killed them out in Bucidine before and had good luck with it, right? Lots of lenses and stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to do the stuff for Sleepka too, and I'm also trying to make it line up a little bit with what I have to do in Garlage Citadel. I need to go to Garlage past the Banishing Gates to get my Black Mage artifact gear. So I'm kind of trying to line it up so that I can do both that and the prerequisite for Sleepka too. Kind of get it all done at the same time, since they both are in roughly the same part of the Citadel. Honestly, I proved that solo Black Mage can work very well. I proved that much. Just use a scythe. just basically play the game like a Beastmaster, and it works out fine. Look, at the end of the day, just be a Beastmaster, no matter what class you're playing. That's the answer. I think the gloves are in Garlage. I honestly forget which part it is, but it's one of them. I have Garlage, Eldime, and Davoy. Those are the three I have to hit. And then I also have to do the other quest for the level 60 artifact piece. Like, all I have is my weapon and my boots so far. That's all I got. And yeah, I like the music here. It's very nice. It's especially good when you get like a snowstorm weather, right? Like when it's foggy and snowstormy, and you get that blowing wind and everything, and the music kicks in. It's pretty nice. Look, I still think the basic clubs, they just look like paddles, right? They're just spanking paddles. That's the true way to fight as a mage. Alright, so I'm not too worried about their AoE spells, although I'll try to avoid them. But yeah, for these guys, it's more... I don't want to get Sleepka 2'd, right? Or, I don't think they have Sleepka 2, I think they have regular Sleepka, right? Either way, it's not fun. Yoink. Those Ahriman tears are actually worth something. That's some good loot right there. It's not why I'm here, but it's good loot all the same. You know, it's like when killing the battering rams, right? The loot's not why you're there, but it's a nice bonus. So these things, they drop tears. I think they drop one other item, can't remember. And then they drop Ahriman lenses. The lens is what I'm here for. It's a non-tradable item. You cannot trade the lens. So naturally I couldn't just buy it either. I'm always about just buying it if I can. You know, if it's not too expensive, if it's not too rare, just buy it so you can kind of move things along with a quest, but not an option with the quest we're doing today. Not an option at all. Okay, so in Bucidine, there's Ahriman like all up around here, all around here. Plenty of them. Also, I saw on YouTube someone, they kind of mentioned on the archive of the streams that, like, oh, I always see you with the rabbit, but like this other pet, it's so good. This other pet that costs a ton of money is so good, and it's like, yeah, but you know what the rabbit doesn't? It doesn't cost any money for me. I can craft these rabbits out of thin air. Like, all I need to do is buy the carrots in Sandoria, which is dirt cheap for me. Like, these rabbit pets are basically free for me. That's a lot of incentive right there, right? Like, yeah, I could drop, like, you know, 80k for Life Drinker Lars or whatever, but yeah, that would be 80k down the drain. That's 80k you're never getting back. The rabbit it's the nice low cost of free 99. It's also just I actually do like some of the rabbit's moves. I do like it. The number of times that I have been saved by using its whirl claws, I can't even count them, right? Like, whirl claws is just it's a great AoE. It's a nice hard-hitting AoE attack that pulls aggro very quickly in a circle, right? But it's not a huge circle. That's the thing. It's not like the crab's bubble shower or anything like that. It's a very tight AoE. It's enough to pull enemies that are attacking you off, not enough to pull aggro from everything in the room, right? Like, it's the sweet spot of AoEs. So that's another reason I like using it. It's just, it works really good. Alright, I think I missed a few Ahriman back to the south. But yeah, it's kind of, I think some people approach this game in a way where they're like, just go all in, go hard all the time. And, you know, if, like, in another game, I could totally see that philosophy, right? But here, if, like, going hard in Final Fantasy XI means spending a lot of gil, which means you are going to be wasting a lot of time farming that gil back, right? Like, whatever. So what I've heard is like, oh man, no, the expensive pet, it kills things so much faster. You'll go so much quicker, right? In the moment, yes, but, well, okay. Like, after you're done fighting, when you've spent, like, when you wake up and realize that you've spent, like, 20k just fighting for, like, an hour, then you gotta go farm 20k, and that's gonna take some time. Like, whatever time it saves you is going to immediately be undone by the time you have to take farming to get the money back, right? That's another way to look at it. Now, for certain fights, like, I think for certain fights, I go for it, right? Like, if it's a really hard, like, BCNM or, you know, a story mission or just a hard boss fight, NM, whatever. For a really hard fight where you need that extra push, totally worth it. Grinding mobs, not worth it. Like, that, if the idea is that you're saving time grinding, you are literally wasting more time grinding money for that pet than you are for the EXP you're getting. It's like, I'm bad at math, but even I can work that one out. But yeah, I don't know. Some people just, they gotta go hard all the time, but it's just really not worth it most of the time in this game. Oh, a nice Vorpal Scythe with no strength food or nothing. Nice. Not getting very lucky on the Ahriman parts, though. I'm not even getting that many Ahriman tiers, actually. Unfortunate. Are there any more over here? I'm not sure how deep the Ahriman go. Also, can you steal money from them? Maybe not. I mean, they don't have pants pockets, right? I think I might have hit the end of the Ahriman out here. Might have hit the end on that. Okay. Well, there's still more north, I know that much. There might be some down south here, I'm not sure. You know what I got? I got wide scan. You know what I'm not using? Yeah. Okay. Oh no, they're popping back in. Yeah, that's another, like, honestly, that is another factor to going, like, going all in 110% is that it's very tiring, you know? Like, on you as a player, as a human being. Like, it just, like, going maximal effort can really wear you down and make things not fun. Like, in a video game especially, it can lead to burnout very quickly. Some people have a higher threshold for that kind of thing. Some people can, you know, they can really go 120% for hours, but everyone that I've ever played a video game with that is like that, they're the kind of person that if something goes even slightly wrong, they just lose their goddamn mind. Like, that's the kind of person that will flip their keyboard, pull their monitor down, throw their PC out the window, like, you know, because going that hard for that long and just making it a lifestyle, like, yeah, the moment anything interrupts that, you just, like, you're basically living on the breaking point, and anything could push you over the edge. That's, like, that is just my experience with people like that. And I do not want to be like that, especially not over a video game. I mean, if there's a super huge payoff, that's one thing, but like there's people that are like that no matter what, right? Like, you could be in some random EXP grinding party and they insist on, you know, no, you gotta give 200%, right? The kind of person that if you just say, like, man, calm down, chill out, no, that really makes them lose their shit, right? That kind of person. Oh no, all the loss. the loss, Cyber, the loss there would be like, the appropriate response is just, well, that's nice, and immediately log out, uninstall, wipe your hard drive. But yeah, I'd say I like it when people take content seriously, when it's something that needs to be taken seriously. Like, look, I have a lot of games that I'll play just to relax and have fun, and yeah, I don't play them well, I just zone out while I'm playing it, right? Or even in this game, like in this game, grinding easy mobs is kind of, you know, that's my chill out, zone out activity of choice, right? Or fishing, or whatever, but, you know, I take the content as serious as it needs to be taken, right? That's my philosophy. But some people, it's like they gotta take everything seriously, right? There's no chill, there's no calming down. And I don't think that's very healthy. I don't think that's a healthy way to go about video games. I mean, see, here's the thing, right? Like, as someone who, like, especially if a party really goes on for a long time, like, I'll admit, fatigue does set in, right? Like, I was in a really good Black Mage burn party yesterday, but it was going kind of late into the evening, and I was physically getting sleepy, right? And I completely missed the, like, I missed the magic burst window a couple of times towards the end, because, yeah, I was kind of nodding off, right? And eventually I was like, yeah, I need sleep, I'm gonna bow out. But the thing is that the way that party was set up, it was like 2 summoners, 4 black mages. All it took to kill the enemies was 2 of the black mages doing a magic burst. 2 freezes was all it took to kill the enemies, right? So the thing is that even if I literally fell asleep, you know, there would still be 1 other black mage who doesn't cast a spell because the enemy's already dead. In content like that, you know, does it matter? Right? Like, does it really matter? But I still, you know, when I got too tired, I was like, okay, yeah, that's enough for me. Yeah, it depends on the content, you know? Like, when you're in a 4 black mage party and only 2 of them need to actually do anything in order to kill the enemy, literally half the party could be AFK and nothing changes. In a more tight party where you're doing something a little harder, like let's say you're fighting an enemy, like the party is fighting enemies that need to be debuffed, they need to be dispelled, like, or else things just go really wrong, then yeah, having the red mage fall asleep at the wheel would be a bad thing, right? That would be really bad and really noticeable. It just kind of depends on what you're doing, you know? And also, Cyber, I don't know, I have a high tolerance for bullshit in games, but I generally don't like just losing tons of progress. Losing a little is fine, but yeah, I don't like losing a lot of my progress, a lot of my time, right? I have a limit there. I have a threshold. Yeah, no lens still. It's not that rare of an item, but I'm getting very unlucky with it. Also, oh, perfect example of someone going a little too hard but doing it in a bit of a dumb way. So, the party that I had yesterday for the Black Mage burn was really good. But I had a party, like, I had another Black Mage party before that was absolutely terrible, and it just lost me EXP. Like, all it did was lose EXP. And the reason is because the party leader, who was, as usual, not one of the black mages, it's always the, like, whether it's a black mage burn or a beastmaster burn, it's always the summoner, right? They're the one that, it's always some kind of problem. But the problem was that they had this idea that like, okay, we got these black mages, if everybody's playing at 200%, we can totally fight enemies, right? We can black mage burn enemies that are 25 levels higher than we are. The thing is that no one in the party was really prepared for that kind of thing, and also it's not even a smart thing to do. And also they, like, this guy insisted that like, okay, there will be no downtime, it's just pull, start casting freeze before I even get to camp, use battle like he was really telling people what to do. And of course, naturally, it just fell apart instantly, right? And then they disbanded it, but you know, after we wiped like twice. But yeah, like, it's because they were trying to force everybody, a bunch of randoms, to play a bit over their weight, and also just like, it's also just not really a good idea. So the Black Mage burn party that I was in that was really good, we were killing enemies that were like, they were like 7 to 10 levels higher than the party, which is normal. That's a normal level range to fight, right? And the EXP was really, really good. Yeah, this dude, it was a level, like, I was level 54, right? So, level 54 party, and he wanted to fight, like, level 77 enemies in the Boyata tree. At level 54. Like, nobody's spells were landing. Like, literally, no spells were landing. The summoner himself, like, his pet was missing constantly, like, and once, you know, once the freeze fails and all that, once the chain fails to go off, no one could land a sleep or a bind or anything, because it's, yeah, right? But that's, like, that is an example of someone who is just hell-bent on doing the whole give it your 200%, it has to be this way kind of thing, and yeah, it didn't go well, right? It didn't go well at all. It was just it was a colossal waste of time for everyone involved. I came out with negative EXP. But the more chill, laid-back party that I was in, where, yeah, like, it didn't matter if half the party was AFK. No, the levels just flew by, right? Because we were punching at the weight we are more comfortable with, right? So yeah, I guess I've just seen so many people in this game and others that they really, yeah, they just want to go so hard, and they want everybody to play that hard, and it just sort of ends up causing more problems than it's worth, you know? But yeah, I will agree that, like, purposefully trolling, griefing the party, that's... Oh man, look, he's... Well, the pet's asleep now, so I mean, what am I gonna do, right? I guess I gotta fight. Yeah, like, that's the thing, Cyber, like, honestly, the party that I was in, where the level spread was only like 7 to 10 levels higher, right? That's not bad at all. That's a normal partying in this game. And yeah, like, in that party, the EXP went super fast. Because every fight was smooth, you know? Every fight was a nice, quick, smooth fight. Like, honestly, 12, right? Like, 12 levels higher than the party, that's... Honestly, that's when things usually get dicey. At least in the parties that I've been in. That's when things get uncomfortable. But yeah, like, trying to fight enemies that are, I think at maximum, the highest ones, they were like 25 levels higher than the party. That's too much. That is too goddamn much. Or at least, it's too much for... It's an EXP party, right? It's a Black Mage burn. It's an EXP party. It's... Like, this isn't high-end content, right? Like, no one in that party was prepared for anything like that. It's not like this was some endgame raid encounter, right? You know, it's just EXP grinding. And yeah, like I know that there's, like, I don't know the math behind it, but I know that there's a lot of factors that go into, like, your damage versus the enemy, or whether you can even hit the enemy. There's a lot of factors in there. I know that much. Like, all I can say is that this dude was, he was basically just completely ignoring context and just, he was trying to force something, I guess. Like, all I can think is that, well, wait, hold up, there's another problem with this. So I would assume his presumption is that higher level equal more EXP, right? And I would guess he just knows that, like, Black Mage Burn equal good. So, okay, let's go for the highest possible enemies in the game, right? Without really looking at the context behind that. And that's one thing. Other thing is, there's a limit to EXP in this game. Like, this isn't like some other RPGs. There's limits on how much EXP you can get from a mob. And I'm pretty sure you will hit that EXP limit. I am fairly certain you'll hit that limit well before 25 levels over the party. I'm pretty sure. Again, fighting enemies that are like 10 levels higher than the party, that gives pretty high EXP. Like, I'm not even sure there'd be any benefit to going more than 15 levels over the party. Like, I don't think you'd get any more EXP, right? It caps out. Oh no, I'm bound. And yeah, no, I mean, look, I've played lots of games where it's all about, you know, taking down tons of enemies, like, you know, kill tons of enemies super fast, or kill really high level enemies very slowly. I've played all styles of online game. It's just here, there's limits to these things, you know? There's no benefit to going so high. It's a lot more risk for no additional reward. It's not like, I don't want to necessarily call it out on this one guy. It's just, this is a behavior that I've witnessed a lot in Final Fantasy XI. People that, you know, they want to play hard and all that, but they also just, they sort of want to take it to the max all the time, even when it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it's not even beneficial to do it, right? Like, I know for a fact, back in the day, that's why so many parties were just suffering in the low levels, is because everybody wanted to fight enemies that were like 20 levels over the party. Because more EXP, right? And they didn't really math it out that if you could even kill the enemies, it would be so slow it would not be worth it, right? Like, back in the day, though, that was kind of the standard. I want to say that was the standard back in the day. But I don't witness it as much here as I did back then. Oh, that's gonna aggro. It's gonna aggro. Oh, wow. Man, that bad eye is blind. That's one blind eye right there. And yeah, the whole idea of kind of expecting people to play a certain way and not adapting to what the actual situation is and what you actually have. Yeah, that does happen a lot in every game, but yeah, you do just kind of have to make your own party or find like-minded individuals, you know? That's kind of what you gotta do. Man, how many tiers have I got? I almost have a full stack of Ahriman tiers. I mean, if I get a full stack, I can sell it for a good amount of money, but I would like a lens, please. And I know for a fact they drop from these mobs. But yeah, I think a lot of people, they look at the whole, oh, if a party isn't playing like you want, they kind of look at it more like, I don't know, from the other end of that spectrum, but yeah, no, like if you're all about giving 110% and you want to go hard and you're trying to take it to the max, right? Like, great, but a lot of players just want to chill out when they play a game like this, right? They just want to chill. I mean, honestly, if I join a Black Mage burn party in this game, it's like, yeah, it's because I want to sit back, not do much, and occasionally stand up and cast freeze, right? Like, that's what I'm down for when I join a party like that. I think most people are. But then you have some people who really want to, yeah, kind of force things in a way that they aren't, right? In a way that the party isn't really down for. Yeah, I know these bad eyes. I know they dropped the lens because so when I was of the appropriate level for these guys, these were actually what I killed as a Beastmaster for quite a while to level up. And I did it because it was also good money. And I remember they dropped tiers, and every now and then they would drop a lens. I know because I would keep coming away from my sessions out here with a bunch of lenses that I couldn't sell to you know, on the auction house, so I had to merchant sell it. But that's how I know. That's how I know they have them. Now the drop rate, I don't know what the drop rate is. Maybe there's other Ahriman that would have a better drop rate, but I just know that there's a lot of these guys here, and they do drop the lens. Rarely, but they drop it. And yeah, there's just some people that, I mean, look, some people, that is the way they have fun, right? Like, for some people, playing a game like a job is fun for them. Like, they need that structure in their life, even in leisure time. Like, they need the Burger King manager to be yelling at them constantly to work harder or you're gonna get fired. They need that even in their downtime, right? Because it's what they need, right? And that's fine. I'd say find other people similar philosophy, but yeah, no, me, I'm here for the socializing. I'm here to have fun, here to immerse, here to chill out, right? Well, yeah, no, EVE Online is for people that, EVE Online is that's for the Burger King manager, right? He has to look over his spreadsheets and see who's slacking, who's not being efficient enough, right? Basically, look, your enjoyment of games, you're either the Burger King employee or the manager, alright? It all comes down to that. And if it's Final Fantasy XIV, you even get to wear the Burger King crown. Alright, so I think I killed all the Ahriman here. I will, as I'm walking back here, I will just take a quick look, just wiki it, but I'm very certain these guys drop the lenses, but yeah, let me just search it up real quick. So Bat Eyes. Yes, Bat Eyes. They have a 2.7% chance to drop a lens. Okay, that is pretty low. Let me see if there's any... Yeah, let me look and see if there's anything that maybe has a slightly better drop chance than that. Because that is pretty damn low. Let's see. What about the Evil Eyes in Zarkabard and Castle Zval? What are they? What's their chance? Okay, the Evil Eyes in Zarkabard, they have an 8.2% chance, and there's 33 of them out there, so let's move this over to Zarkabard. Yeah, like 8% is still really, really low, but I mean, it's really low, but it's a little better. I will still kill this round of Bad Eyes, because, I mean, they drop Ahriman tiers, right? They've got good loot still. And maybe, you know, maybe I'll get lucky, but yeah, we'll do better in Zarkabard, I think. Oh, Cyber, a fast food corp in Eve. That just reminds me, there was a fun like NPC corp in Eve that I think there were a lot of player corps that sort of did spin-off variations of it. But there was like the cola, right? It was something cola, was it Quaff cola, something like that. It was you could even do deliveries for them. I remember that. Just load your spaceship up with Mountain Dew. I mean, Quaff Cola. Delicious Quaff Cola. I mean, no, I'm 75, so I can kill anything here. It's just ice clusters actually don't really sell all that well, unfortunately. Like, last I checked, stacks of ice crystals go for like 600 to 800 gil. That's not great. Like, that's really, really not great. And also, even though they're only level 46, like, okay, you know what? Let's see. How long does it actually take to kill an elemental with no magic, right? How long does that take? You can see that we're just sort of chipping away at it. Yeah, the problem here is that yeah, the problem is that without magic damage, these like it's not horrible, but like man, it's so much time and energy to kill these things. Yeah, honestly, I don't know, like, my Black Mage is level 57. I'm thinking if that would be high enough to take these on. Like, would it? I don't have like an ancient magic that ice is weak to. Ice is weak to fire, right? Fire beats ice, right? I don't have any fire ancient magic. I was thinking you could just lead in with that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if 57 is a little too low to farm these. But honestly, like, no, Black Mage is really good for farming elementals. It's very good for that. You don't even have to use the ancient magic on some of them. You can just do a nice level 2 or 3 spell, and man, it just melts them good. But also, it's just kind of... Ice clusters just aren't worth a whole lot. Like, yeah, you could get like maybe 600 to 800 gil. That's like... It's okay, I guess, but it's nothing... You know, it's nothing special, right? Yeah, I already have 10 ice clusters. The thing is, I don't even really craft anything with them. I only have them because I might craft something eventually with it. And I didn't sell it because it's not worth it to sell it. Like, yeah, they're just not worth much. Yeah, now, if I could come out here as a Black Mage and I could just, like, burn them down in a couple seconds, then it would be worth it. Because that would be minimal effort, right? But, yeah, it's a little too much effort as a Beastmaster. True, I do want to level up Alchemy more. I actually do. I would really like to level up my Alchemy. So I may end up using those ice clusters at some point. Problem is that ice is... Yeah, like, ice isn't really worth much. It wouldn't be that much of a problem to just buy the crystals, you know? Alright, so I'm gonna kill these two bad eyes, and then we're moving over to Zarkabard. I did not think it would take this long to get a lens, but yeah, we're dealing in very low drop chances. I didn't realize it was that poor, right? I just knew that this is where I farmed Ahriman Tears as I was leveling up as a Beastmaster, so I figured it would, you know, be a good place to start. And I'll take my Thundaga. I'm gonna outpost back to Sandoria anyway. Do I have a full stack? I have a full stack of Ahriman Tears. Oh man, I can sell that. No idea how much Ahriman Tears are worth these days. No clue. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have to go over to Zarkabard. I just had a thought. Let me rest up, because okay, so you know what my thought was, is like, okay, I'm gonna outpost back to Sandoria, and then I'm gonna outpost into Zarkabard, and you know, I could do that, I could, but I mean, literally Zarkabard is right over here. Like, all I would have to do is just run up here, and you're in Zarkabard, right? And I don't think, yeah, Bastok has control here, so teleporting back to town would probably cost over probably over 1,000 gil. That's not a huge problem, but yeah, like Zarkabard is literally like right over that hill, so so okay, maybe let's not be lazy, right? I do have my warp cudgel. I have several methods of warp, but I'd like to save all of them, you know? Alright, so I want to get my health up to over 1,000 again, at least. Maybe let it tick one more time. Okay. I'll let the pet just keep resting. Time to flee. I have these moments very frequently where I sort of develop a plan to do something way more complicated than it needs to be. Like I don't realize that I could just do the easy thing, you know? Alright, so yeah, while there are a lot of bad eyes here, yeah, there's a lot of them here, but you're dealing in like a 2% chance of loot. That's gonna take a while. It's gonna either take a while or it's gonna take a lot of good luck. And I don't feel especially lucky today. So yeah, moving this over to Zarkabard. Also, I think there's like a level 51 fish, right, that I could catch out at one of these fishing holes, right? It's at one, maybe all of these fishing holes. I kind of want to try going for that fish sometime. I actually haven't even tried yet. It's just Grimmonite is great, but I don't know, Grimmonite is always so crowded, right? Like, even in the off hours, Grimmonite is often crowded. It's got a good pool to it, but it gets crowded real fast. I don't know, another time I'll check out the fishing spots here. I don't know what the catch rate on it is. I figure it might be like giant squid, which it sells really well in the auction house. It's a good fish, good skill, but yeah, catching a giant squid is, well, with a lure, right? With a lure, it's kind of hard. Alright, so Zarkabard. I think the Aramon are just kind of around here, just all over, so... Also, here's a fun thought. I'm gonna have to go back into Castle's Vol, back down into the pit with the dread demons and stuff. I'm gonna have to do that again sometime. And the reason is because, well, yeah, I still need a couple scrolls from down there. I got Firaga 2, but there's still Fire 4, Firaga 3, there's more spells I need still. I'm just taking it all one step at a time, though. And look, squid... well, I mean, there's squid, there's frog fishing. Is a frog a fish? I don't know. You can fish it with a fishing pole. Is a rusty bucket a fish? I catch a lot of them. Alright, so I don't know, do these Atemus, do they have any loot, any spell scrolls? Wait, what's that? Shadow Dragon. I have never seen a Shadow Dragon out here before. Like, I've literally never seen one. Am I just really unobservant, or what? It's not an NM, though. What kind of loot's that got? Let me, Shadow Dragon. Doesn't seem to have anything. Apparently you can steal some money from it, right? Like, apparently it drops money and you can steal money. I don't know, fuck it, let's fight it, right? Why not? It's not an NM or anything, it's just kind of there. Ah, I see, it's a placeholder, okay. Yeah, but apparently there's only one in the entire zone. So sure, why not? It's not particularly difficult. Yeah, I'm sure that if there was an option of getting an NM here, I'm pretty sure this would be camped, you know, just camped to hell and back, right? Oh, no steel. No steel. Hey, not bad, right? No loot, but 2,982 gil. I mean, for an easy kill, that ain't bad, right? That ain't bad at all. Ooh, Water Gatu. That's gone hurt. Ah, true, yeah. I mean, I guess it does happen every now and then where maybe just no one knows, right? Well, that thing is on a 10-minute, it's on a 10-minute respawn timer, and I gotta be honest, like, if it drops nearly 3,000 gil every time you kill it, it might be worth it to kill it just for that, right? Like, honestly, it might be worth it just for the 3,000 gil, right? I mean, it's a free 3,000 gil. Like, that pays for the... I bought, like, antidotes, didn't I? Yeah, I bought a stack of antidotes. That, you know, that'll pay for that, right? Do it a couple times, that'll pay for my rice dumplings. Every little bit, it adds up. Also, I need money desperately because I still have 3 elemental staffs that I need, and they're all the expensive ones. Like, I still need a water staff, a fire staff, and an earth staff. Those are the 3 I still need, and I believe those are the 3 most expensive ones. Like, going over 200k expensive. So I'll take any and all gil I can get. Also, my black mage is level 57, so that vermilion cloak ain't far off, right? And I know that's gonna... Like, I know that vermilion cloak is going to drop me down to 2 million gil. Alright, that's just gonna happen, I know it. Oh, the HQ, you gotta get that extra 5%. I mean, look, I look at the HQ staffs as, you know, if I have all the normal staffs, right? If I have all the normal staffs, and I have every other piece of equipment that I want, then sure, why not, right? It's good to have long-term plans. Well, so the thing is, the Vermilion Cloak, I mean, it's not good for int or anything, but it would be good as a resting set, right? Like when I'm, you know, when I'm just sitting down, the way that I would use it is just whenever I'm not actively casting spells, right? So like when I'm resting or whatever, like I just have it on for the MP, but I wouldn't wear it all the time, you know? But I don't know the stats on the Black Cloak, but and I mean, I still need my artifact gear. The artifact gear is going to be pretty good, right? But also, I am planning on leveling up White Mage as well. Don't know if I'll level up Red Mage too. Unsure. But I know I want to level up both Black and White Mage to 75. I like both of them. So, and I mean, Vermilion, non-casters can wear it too. Like, can't a paladin wear that? Wouldn't that be pretty good for a paladin to wear in their downtime? I don't know. Like, I figure there's a couple classes that would get some benefit out of it. Okay. Alright, I didn't know there were other cloaks that had refresh on them that weren't the Vermilion. Ah, okay, so int 4 and then refresh and then elemental skill. I guess what's I don't know what the stats on this server are. Like I don't know what the stats are on the Black Mage artifact chest piece and headpiece. I would figure I'd probably want to wear those instead, right? When I'm casting spells, I would think. But I don't know, I kind of just figure I'd have like the full hard-on, like, intelligence set, and then Vermilion would just be that would be my rest and recover set, or it would be my I'm lazy right now set. Right, it would be the I'm lazy and just want to recover my MP at all times thing. Which I could see myself using that, like, on White Mage, for instance. I don't know. Either way, look, as long as I can remember, I always eyed the Vermilion Cloak enviously, right? Like, every time I'd see someone wearing it, it's like, man, that's good, right? That auto-refresh cloak. I just always wanted it. So it's, I think more than anything, it's just sort of some old wish fulfillment, right? Like, oh, finally, I'll be the cloak wearer. You can look at that and know I dropped 1 million gil on it. But we'll see. It's not, like, honestly, oh, I got petrified. Oh no. But yeah, honestly, the Vermilion Cloak isn't super high on my priorities. I'd like to have it, but I'd like to get my spells, like all my spells first. I'd like to flesh out my elemental staff collection. I'd like to have all that done when I hit level 60 with Black Mage. I'd rather have all that done first. Vermilion Cloak comes later. That's after all that's handled. Yeah, I'm not sure what all, like... I'm not sure what all classes can wear Vermilion. I haven't looked at it in a while. But I know a lot can, and I figure for, yeah, like Paladin, that'd be good every now and then as something to swap to. For any of the mages, obviously, or just for anyone that's subbing White Mage, right? Like every now and then as a Beastmaster, I sub White Mage to be a bit of extra support for either a party or for myself, right? So I could, yeah, I could see the use in it. Yeah, I'd figure like Paladin and Red Mage would get a lot out of it, but really, I'd figure really Paladin. Like, Paladin seems to kind of live and die by its MP pool more so than its raw health and defense. Like, it would explain why the Taru Paladins I've seen tend to play a little smoother than the Galka Paladin, right? Even though the Galka should be the tougher one, right? But that's not quite how it works out. So I do plan on going up Paladin at some point. Oh my god, I can't hit this thing. I think it's bugged in the geometry, so I gotta... Okay, Alright, so there we go. I had to pull it out of the world. And the wife had to grab the phone real quick. Alright. That's what the sudden wife, just there noises. I wonder if the dragon things respawned. It's on like a 10-minute spawn timer, and I've been killing eyes out here for a while now. Can I kill the dragon again? I'd like my money again, please. Alright, Cyber. Well, thanks for showing up. But yeah, for, I don't know, for armor choices for my Black Mage, I figure, like, once I get my artifact pieces, like, the artifact pieces for Beastmaster were really underwhelming. For Black Mage, though, I mean, I've kind of looked at just the normal versions of some of the items, and I think they've been tweaked a little here. But, like, even the normal versions, they seem good. They seem solid. Like, lots of things that would really help me out a lot. Not all the pieces, of course. Like the boots, I don't wear those on my Black Mage because I get more int out of other things, and I don't need the interruption rate in a party. So, you know, I don't do it there. But yeah, I guess I could just, you know, not worry about the Vermilion Cloak since I'm mainly leveling up Black Mage first. I feel like I mean the Vermilion Cloak would be good. I eventually want to level up Paladin, and I do want to level White Mage up to 75 as well, although I'm more interested in Black Mage in the moment. I kind of just level up White Mage whenever I'm bored. So yeah, I guess I could wait on it, right? I could wait on the Vermilion. I'd still like to get it at some point just to say I got it, but yeah, it can wait. Yeah, I didn't... So the thing is, I don't really have an interruption-specific set macroed out. Mainly, the way that I use interruption right now as a Black Mage is when I'm soloing and I'm... Like, okay, like, let's say I just want to do some Black Mage farming, right? Of elementals or some AoE farming, whatever. Well, I gotta be able to get my spells off, right? So yeah, I basically put all the gear that can possibly give me interruption rate down. And the wand, I use like a wand that gives me interruption rate down too. And yeah, that's just so I can cast while being hit, right? I have not really thought to make anything like that for a party yet. Like in a party, there's usually so many buffs going around. You know, Stone Skin, Blink, all that good stuff. I don't really worry about interruption in a party. Yeah, it's one of those things where like interruption rate is, there's certain moments where that would be nice, but it's very situational. And it just depends on how you play, you know? Either way, I like the idea of having an interrupt set, you know? I like the idea of having that, because every now and then, right? Like, I don't even need it when I melee is the thing. Like, when I whip out my Scythe and melee, and I have a whole DPS set for that as a black mage, I don't really care about spellcasting when I do that. Like, when I do that, I'm playing purely offensively, right? Like, I don't care so much about getting hit or casting spells, you know? Like, my Scythe is all my damage in that time. Oh. Basic spell, not an AoE. But yeah, I may consider building up just a proper kind of defensive / interrupt set, right? Like maybe a mix of evasion and interrupt, and yeah, that could be my panic one, right? I kind of want to have, like, especially when I get an Earth Staff, actually. I feel like a good panic set might include an Earth Staff. But, like, you know, that plus evasion gear, just, yeah, things to kind of minimize getting hurt, right? It's just so far, even in parties, it hasn't been that bad. Like, sometimes in a black mage burn or something, I'll get aggro. But yeah, between the buffs that the party usually just has on, and you know, like I can use blaze spikes, can stun. I have so many options, right? So yeah, I haven't really needed something like that yet. But it might be good to have. Also, I wonder if these cursed weapons have any loot drops. It's always a mixed bag on the cursed, like the weapon type of enemies. There's the ones out in Kufum Island that drop swords, but I think most of them don't drop anything. Like, just nothing. Well, like, ice spikes I've found to be good until I got shock spikes, but honestly, shock spikes does have a pretty good stun rate. Like, I use it in parties whenever I pull aggro as a black mage, and yeah, like, it doesn't stun them so hard all the time, but it does very frequently stun the enemy for a few seconds. Like, I have used it to good effect to keep me alive on many an occasion. Like, many times where, oh yeah, wait, I thought the help text does say that. Oh yeah, it doesn't say it, but no, like, it has a very high stun rate. Like, I don't think it's 100%, but it has quite a high stun rate. Most of the time when an enemy is attacking me, like, yeah, like, almost every hit it gets stunned. And I've used that to basically black mage tank. Like a mix of that and drain, and if I'm slash ninja, some Utsasemi, but yeah, I use all that to black mage tank, basically. I've done it before whenever I took aggro, and it works. Like, it gives the healer enough time to heal me, right, between the stuns. Yeah, they do. They all just say that, right? Yeah, they all just say damage. But I think Blaze Spikes is just damage, right? That one's just damage, I think. But But no, yeah, ice paralyzes and shock stuns. The paralyze from ice spikes is pretty good early on, but at a certain point, especially in parties, like there's so much paralysis going around, it doesn't really matter. You know, this might actually explain something. I've been in many parties with black mages now, with other black mages, and they never use their spike spells. Never. And it's not that they don't take aggro. I've been in many a party where the Taru black mage goes nuts, and yeah, they just stand there getting whacked on until they die, right? But they never have, like, yeah, they never have ice or shock spikes on. But see me, I always, like, I try to keep shock spikes up as often as I can. And, yeah, like, no, it has saved my life multiple times. Like, that's why I do it now. Because I know it's effective. Yeah, true. And in a game like FF14, you know, and most modern games, the game tells you exactly what the deal is. But here, there are so many hidden things in this game. It's why people develop strange voodoo ideas about how certain things work. But no, this one is pretty easy to test. If you put shock spikes on and you let an enemy hit you, like I don't think it tells you that the enemy gets stunned, but you'll see every now and then in the text that, like, the stun effect on this enemy has worn off. You'll see that, right? So it's tangible, you can see it. Like, I try not to get into voodoo territory myself with this game, but yeah, I trust what I can see. Something, like, when there's something tangible to see, I trust that. Yeah, there's a crackly electric animation, but you know, that could just be damage, right? That could just be, like, in Thunder does the same thing when it hits an enemy. You know, I guess a lot of people could just think, oh, it's like in Thunder, right? But no, there's a stun effect in there too. It appears in the text log. Man, I came out here because, you know, wikis say that this has a better... this got better drop chances. I don't know about that, man. I'm sitting on more than one stack of Ahriman tears, but I'm not seeing any lenses. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, the end spells... Now, I could be wrong on this, but like, the first end spell you get is in Thunder, and I've never seen in Thunder have any kind of stun effect on enemies. So as far as I know, the end spells are they're just damage, but with different elements, and that makes sense, right? Like, it's all about dealing damage, and you want to have different elements when dealing damage, so I get that one. Man, I've played some Asian games in the past, right? Like them grindy Korean MMOs. I have played a couple of them, and yeah, that's one thing I hate, is that they tend to have multiple just common items with a point something % drop chance, right? That's one thing I hate about games like that. Like, here, honestly, for items that I need for whatever reason, the lowest it's ever gone is 1%. I'm sure there's lower, but, like, for items that I absolutely need, you know, like for quests and stuff, like, I've not seen anything under 1%. Like, low in this game is usually like 2 to 5%, right? not seeing any... No Ahriman. Wait, there's a ton of Ahriman out around Castle's Vault itself, right? Like, aren't there... Like, wait, that's where the bulk of them are, actually, isn't it? I think I could also farm them in Castle's Vault, but I believe the ones out here have a slightly better drop chance. Oh man, a 0.5%. But okay, look, to be fair, in this game, you have an edge, right? Like in this game, you know, you can sub thief and get a boost to your drop chance, right? You can main thief and get a significant boost to your drop chances. So like at the very least, this game sort of has a mechanic available to you that if you want more loot, if you want a better chance, you can at least tilt the odds in your favor a little bit, right? It's at least got that going for it. That's not something you see in too many games. And yeah, for seals, I mean they're actually time limited, right? Oh man, look at all these Ahriman. Oh yeah, we're in the right place here. Like, isn't it like you can only get one seal per 5 minutes or something like that? Oh, sleep. At least it's only sleep go on, right? It's only the first tier. Like, this isn't, you know, this isn't a Sapphire Quadav or a Yugudo Prelate or, you know, a Davoy Hex Spinner, right? This is... It's not gonna sleep Gatumi for like 2 minutes straight and then drop a massive Gospel on me for like 1,000 damage. It's not that bad, at least. I don't know. Look, I have gotten some good use out of Treasure Hunter, alright? I got some good use out of it. Like, even with just Treasure Hunter 1, I notice the difference. It's just still, yeah, drop chances are bad for some things. I have had, on a different server, I've had a level 50 thief before, so I have experienced Treasure Hunter 2 before. And that was a very significant increase to drop chances for the common and uncommon items. I know that it gives less effect for the super rare stuff, but it still does something. It's, you know, it's just a, like, look, when you multiply like 0.5%, you're still stuck with a really low number, you know? Yeah, like, Treasure Hunter has the most effect on the more common items, which is a little backwards to me. Like, shouldn't it have the most effect on the rare items? You would think, right? But... because it's Treasure Hunter, not Trash Hunter, right? But either way, it does, like, it doesn't have a huge effect on super rare items, but it does have an effect, and I mean... whatever increase to loot chances you can get, you should probably take it, you know? But yeah, that's actually the main thing I did with Treasure Hunter 2 on Eden, where I had a higher level thief. I mainly used it to farm stuff like Quadav backplates and Palboro. Really good money in that. Or yeah, beehive chips, or, you know, hair meat, stuff like that, right? The common items that still aren't common enough to drop frequently for a non-thief. But yeah, it's mainly just like, yeah, it scales to the drop rate of the item. So like, if the item has like a, you know, like a 20% chance, you can make that way higher, right? But if the item only has a 0.5% chance, you know, you could double that and you'd still only have 1%, right? But still, hey, I would still consider that worth it for all the effort you go through to get to those high items, right? Like, all the effort of getting to the fight and fighting thing and having a chance, like you want the best chance you can get, right? I do, at least. Oh yeah, spider webs. I've only farmed spider webs on my Beastmaster here with Slash Thief and the Boyata tree. Even then, it's pretty good. It is pretty nice. Also, none of the so here's the thing, right? Like, when I was more level appropriate to these things, I was killing these eye monsters all up and down these snowy hills, and I would just get lenses all the time, right? Lens drops all the time. But now that I actually need it for this quest, I cannot get a lens. I just can't. Well, the rate isn't great with no treasure. With no treasure hunter, I wouldn't do it. But like, yeah, treasure hunter 1, right? Like with treasure hunter 1 in the Boyata tree, like I get spider webs fairly often. Like, not super often, but like if I go in there and kill spiders, and as a Beastmaster, I can fight them like 3 spiders at a time. I can take on whole groups of them. So it goes nice and quick. But like, yeah, if I'm just killing my way through there, fairly attentive, I usually come out of like maybe 2 hours or so of doing that with multiple stacks of spider web. Not the best, not the worst. Either way, I'm mainly there for the merits, you know? I'm mainly there for EXP and all that. The loot is kind of a nice secondary objective. Oh yeah, also you get coffer keys. You get treasure coffer keys, and yeah, whenever I get one, I just run off and pop open a coffer. A little extra cash on top of that, right? I can steal webs too. Even as a Slash Thief, your steal chance is low, but if you steal from, I have noticed it, and I have noticed it does have an effect. If you steal from behind when the enemy is almost dead, you do have a higher chance of stealing, and even as a sub job, I can totally steal webs from the spiders. It's not in every, like, you'll fail a lot, but you'll also get it a lot too. It's a bit of a coin toss, but yeah, you can get some extra webs. See, I kind of assumed it was superstition too, but I have played around with it, and there's a lot of RNG to it, right? There is a lot of random. You can totally steal from an enemy, like, in the same circumstance, from the front, at full HP, and get it, right? There's a ton of RNG, but I have noticed that I get a successful steal more often if I make sure the enemy's low and I'm from behind. I think that if it affects, like, if there's the tangible effect, it's not a huge one, but it's enough, right? It's enough to let me steal every now and then. But yeah, I like, Thief / BST could work too. I don't really want to level Thief up to 75. I don't hate the class, it's just I have other classes in this game that interest me a lot. And if I take on yet another one, I will not have the inventory space to do that. Like, I don't have the space to haul around all that gear, you know? The wardrobe can only go so far. It's stuffed full. But yeah, I like Beastmaster, I like Black Mage, White Mage, I eventually want to do Paladin. Yeah, that's too much already, right? I'm already at the too many jobs point, so yeah, if I do Thief, it won't be for a very long time. Yeah, honestly, wardrobe space, I really wish wardrobe space was a little more, you know, that it flowed a little more freely. I'm not saying, like, give everyone 500 wardrobe slots from level 1. It's more like, I feel like we just need more, right? Like, just multiply the amount that you get for completing missions and stuff, right? The problem is that it's not like it's overpowered or anything to have a lot of wardrobe slots. It's just like this is a game where you can and often do play multiple classes at the same time at different level ranges, and if you do that, you won't have the space to pull it off, right? Like storage space is a problem in this game. There are the armor guys, you know, like there's the armor depository guys. I have never made use of that. And it's not because I don't know they're there, it's because they only accept full sets. And on top of that, they only accept normal quality sets. You can't deposit a +1 version set, right? So like I have the Sears gear, I can't deposit that because my Sears gear is +1. So yeah, the problem is there's way too many restrictions on that. You never actually get to make use of it. Very few people wear a full set of anything in this game. Also, you'd always have to have a mishmash of parts out. But yeah, like the problem is just that there's just not enough space to go around. Oh man, Mr. Vorpalscythe. Been a while. I mean, I'm not using any food. I'm not using any food for this. Why would I? Right? I'm going in kind of low ball here because it's. I thought this was just going to be a quick thing, right? Like my plan was, oh, I'll just go out and, you know, I'll kill a couple of Ahriman, I'll get my lens, I'll proceed with this quest, and, you know, then I'll go to Davoy and try to get my Scroll of Quake and, you know, get a coffer key for later. And yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I do not think that is. I don't see that in the cards. That's not in the Taru cards today. Like, I swear that when I was just out here leveling up and killing Ahriman, I would get stacks of lenses. Was I just stupidly lucky? I don't know, but yeah, now I'm having a problem with it. And my pet's about dead. Honestly, these things are cheap. I should probably just summon a new one. Yeah, let's just summon up a new one. And this one's been out for a while too, so yeah, these rabbit pets they're dirt cheap for me to craft, so no problem. Just pulling out a new one instead of keeping it alive. Also, yeah, I'm not sure like what all for Black Mage, I don't know what my final Black Mage gear is gonna look like. I just know that I like the class, I'm having fun with it. Like, honestly, Black Mage is so much fun in this game. It really kind of gives me that EverQuest wizard vibe, which I love wizards in that game. Except it's better. Like wizards in EQ, you can kill things really fast, but then you have to sit down and meditate for literally 5 to 10 minutes, right? No exaggerating, 5 to 10 minutes. So Black Mage, to me, it feels like, okay, the spells are not quite as potent, but they're good enough, and you don't have to sit down and meditate for 10 minutes after every fight. So it's like, it feels really good, right? I love the gameplay of Black Mage. It's really fun in a party to set up skill chains and magic bursts, especially lining up an ancient magic burst. Like, oh, that's fun times. It's also really fun times to hit for over 2,000 damage with that. But yeah, so I just know I want to keep playing that class, right? And I want to make it as good as I can, but no idea on the specifics there. Yeah, okay, that's the thing. I did play the game in retail back in the day, And yeah, I remember Black Mage, like, honestly, I hated the casters back in the day. Like all of them were, they were just so slow to play. And it didn't feel good because the thing is, right, in EverQuest, sitting down to meditate for 10 minutes after a fight, like, that's okay, because there's no cap on the EXP you can get from killing enemies. So, like, a wizard could nuke a high-level enemy and get, like, 10% of their EXP to level in a single kill. And then, yeah, resting 10 minutes after that, oh, that's no problem, right? It's a slow-ass game that goes slow, but it evens out, right? This game, though, the way this game actually plays is not nearly that slow. Like, this isn't a game where people are just sitting down and meditating for like 5 to 10 minutes between fights. It's not that kind of game, at least not the way people play it now. So yeah, Black Mage, like, I didn't like original Black Mage. It did not feel good to play. But Black Mage here, I really like it. It plays exactly like I want it to play. Oh yeah, god, this, yeah, stare at spellbook. Oh yeah, that's the thing, in original EverQuest, it wasn't just a matter of sitting and meditating, you had to pop your spellbook open, and you had to just stare at your spellbook screen while your character meditated, so you couldn't even see the game, right? You were just staring at your spellbook. Like, not even Project 1999, they don't even, like, no, they don't do that. They're like, no, that's too much. Well, I mean, I know people still play EverQuest because I played it yesterday. We played EverQuest yesterday for like 5 hours on Project 1999. We did that yesterday. Look at the last stream. Though I played a Bard in that. Bard's got like no downtime, even in old school EverQuest. It's a very fast class. I do still want to make a wizard in Project 1999 though. I do kinda still want to do wizard, but I'm thinking magician actually. Magician might play a little smoother for the stream, because I am thinking to do a long form like what we do here with FF11, but I want to do that for Project 1999, and just every now and then, like, yeah, let's slow down and do some of that. The thing is both style of game are fun to me. I like this game, and I like how it is on Horizon. I like old school EverQuest. I like both. It's just, the thing is that they are very different. They have very different tempos for how you play the game, right? Like in EverQuest, it's a much slower game overall, where downtime is okay. It's okay and normal to have downtime in EverQuest. In this game, especially how people play it now, even on a server like this, people don't like downtime. They don't like any downtime, right? Or minimal if they have to have it. And that sort of faster playstyle, it really doesn't gel with the classic playstyle of like mages in this game. You know, it's at odds, right? That's more the issue, right? The issue is that the playstyles just don't blend. And yeah, Project 1999 is it's an EverQuest private server that is operating with permission, actually. I think it's the only private server I've ever seen that has like corporate permission, right? It's an interesting idea. It's a bit of a museum, like it's not like Horizon or something like that. It's very much a museum kind of server where you get to go back and experience it as it was, more or less, right? It's still an interesting experience, and as someone who has a fondness for the game back in the day, it is fun to boot it up every now and then and, you know, give it a shot, right? Slay some orcs. It's a fun time every now and then. It's not really something you can dig your teeth into like this, but it doesn't feel like time wasted, you know? Also, man, where are the goddamn lenses? I'm not even getting, like, I am not even getting tears at this point. I'm just, I do have a stack and a half of tears, but yeah, I'm not getting any lenses. I just need one, right? And I haven't accidentally picked one up and ignored it, right? No. There's just no lenses. But these things are supposed to have at least an 8.9% drop chance, right? And I have Treasure Hunter 1, so I should have gotten one by now. Man, that was a quick fight. Oh my god. Hey, it turns out if you complain enough, the GM will spawn an Ahriman lens in your inventory. I kid. Alright. Mainly I was just excited because, like, look at that. That fight was over in like 5 seconds, and it's because I got a triple attack with my two-hander, and then my rabbit criticaled, and then I immediately followed up with a weapon skill, so that fight was over before it even started. Oh man, yeah. Okay. There isn't gonna be time to do Davoy and all that. No time for that, but. I got the thing I wanted, right? Like, to advance this quest. I got that at least. So, I got one out of, 4 things I wanted to do, right? That's good enough for me. So, okay, I'm just waiting for my staff to recharge so I can warp back to the Mog house and we'll wrap things up there. But, let's see. Yeah, just kind of looking back, I missed a couple things people said, and I just wanted to, I like to see it all. I like to, you know. Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh, then GM Dragon just spawns behind me and just eats me, but. But no, look, I do find that when I'm really frustrated and I'm just pulling my hair out over the drop that just never happens, that's when the drop happens. It's like, it's timeable, right? But yeah, not bad. It worked out. And also, yeah, to just go back real quick to the P1999 stuff, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any other private server that has ever, in the history of private servers for any game, I don't think I've ever seen one that had, like, official, written, public permission from the company to operate. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, but Project 1999, I guess, is a little bit of a special thing. I think it's mainly because their goal is very focused, right? They only want to replicate the classic original game, and they have no plans to go forward or to do custom content. It is a museum. It's basically an archival project, right? And also, it does actually draw a lot of people into EverQuest out of curiosity, and that's good for the company, because then they'll think, oh, there's a different version of this that's not as archaic, and it kind of works out, right? Kind of wish more private servers had that relationship with the games, you know, the game company they're emulating. But yeah, we'll take a look at Project 1999 another time. I'm thinking if I actually commit time to it, I'll probably go with like a Dark Elf magician, and I'm not gonna wimp out and go agnostic. No. Full-on Inuruk, god of hate worshipping Dark Elf, right? Full evil. Give me the full package. Like, I don't, look, no compromise, right? No half measures. You're either full evil or you're not. I can't wait to run around slaughtering gnomes. Oh yeah, wasn't there like a Final Fantasy XI mobile thing? I remember hearing something about that, but I guess it never went anywhere. I didn't really keep up with it too much. But look, one thing I can respect about EverQuest is that it's one of few video games, one of few like MMOs where you can just be evil. You can just be evil. And you can kill any NPC in the game. Kill town guards, kill quest givers, kill everything. Very few games give you that much freedom. Yeah, no, I do feel like if FF11 did come to phones, though, it would... You know what kind of game it would be, right? You know. It would be another one of those games with lots of... There'd be some gacha elements in there somehow. Somehow they would milk you for money, right? You'd be... Like, look, I only spent $10,000 on Final Fantasy XI Mobile today. This is fine. This is what games are. So yeah, I think, like, while the idea of that, or I don't know, an FF11 offline could be interesting, I think private servers kind of have that covered at this point. And really, the honest truth is that private servers, the cat is out of the bag. You know, the genie's out of the bottle, Pandora's box is open. There's no real stuffing that one back in there. You know, never gonna get rid of them at this point. Well, yeah, just play another Final Fantasy. That's the answer. Or FF12. Honestly, FF12 has a lot of elements in common with 11. I know that put some people off, but yeah, it did feel like they adapted a couple things from 11 with that one. Man, I did like the Gambit system in that game, though. It's kind of catching up on everything, but oh. Alright, let me switch. Well, I still... So the thing is, I still have things that I want to do, but I'm gonna have to do it on my own, right? It's nothing exciting, so I'll probably end up doing a lot of this stuff just, you know, off-screen on my own. Like, putting the Ahriman lens in the Maze of Shakrami. I only have until the... Like, I have, like, I think I have like 3 hours, right? I have like 3 or so hours to do that before it resets. So I might want to just kind of sneak off and do that on my own time before the 3 hours are up. But yeah, like most of this is it's tedium. It's lots of tedium I have to do. Huh. Oh yeah, there is a fan game. I know that. There's like a FF11 fan game thing that was made in some engine. I'd heard about that, but I didn't look into it. I'm not sure if or what anything came of that exactly. But yeah, I do kind of get why, like, maybe at some point Square Enix would make an FF11 offline to preserve the series, but we'll see, right? We'll see. Most MMO companies, they don't really care about preservation. They are very quick to pull that plug, but maybe Square Enix is a little different on that one. Maybe. We'll see. Oh man, I don't know, like maybe it'll happen still though, right? Maybe. I feel like it would be an opportunity for them to sell you the same game twice, right? Like if they could figure it out, or more likely, just take, since there's so many private servers around now just doing whatever, like just copy their homework, right? Yeah, I get. Yeah, maybe they'll just leave the fans to it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of a little suspicious on whether Square Enix actually does care about the integrity of the series and preservation of the series as a monument of gaming. Honestly, I'm a little suspect on if they care anymore about that. I think maybe at some point they did, but I don't know. Yeah, that's one hey look, I'd love to see it, but eh. Yeah, like maybe Squaresoft might have cared. I don't think Square Enix cares. Pour one out for Squaresoft. You know, the thing is, like every time I hear Squaresoft, I just hear I hear the sound, right? I hear the sound of the PlayStation 1 kind of booting up to title, right? Like whenever you'd pop a game in and, you know, get it going. I just hear that. You know the sound. I know that Squaresoft and Sony plays, like those are different things, but for me it was almost inseparable at a certain point, right? It was one and the same at some point. At least, you know, to my little kid brain. Oh, the sound of much warking. But anyway, yeah, it's after 2 o'clock here, almost 2:30 even. I usually try to wrap things up around 2, somewhere between 2 to 3 my time. It's about that time, and I think the wife also kind of wants to get some stuff done, since it's just a bit of an open day. So I guess I will, you know, wind down. Good place to end it. I got one of the items I wanted. Still got a long ways to go. All for Sleepka too. And, well, that and my artifact gear too. It's we're trying to kind of pound out multiple things here. You know, spells, artifacts, trying to get them all done. But it's a good time. I got one item. It's a good place to leave it for now. I'll probably stay logged in just long enough to deliver the item to the Maze of Shakrami. I'll probably do that, but I'll do it on my own. Because, you know, the JST, right? The midnight reset, which is in a few hours. But I have to say, like, man, a lot of fresh faces in here today. Always good to see. I see we have many nerds here. Again, always appreciated. Final Fantasy XI, this is kind of my main game, just to close out, you know, just so you know the deal for the new people. This is kind of the main game we do during the weekdays. During the weekends, though, I tend to do just classic old games. I'm playing a game from 1989 on Saturday, but yeah, more classic stuff on the weekends. But otherwise, during the weekdays, it's mostly this, around the same time as now. So, you know, if you're down for this, you'll see it a lot. But we do switch it out every now and then. Like, tomorrow is up in the air. We might look at something else tomorrow, or we might play this. I let people know on Discord ahead of time, but we'll see, right? We'll see what we're gonna do. But there will be many a thing for nerds here. Much MMO bantery to be had. But yeah, I guess more geek than nerd. The distinction is a little up in the air. So much geekery, I guess. I don't know, geekery doesn't sound as good though. But yeah, thanks for showing up one and all. Didn't quite get everything done I wanted, but that's fine. I will, yeah, I'll return tomorrow with something. You'll know, right? You'll know when you look. But till then, see you guys next time. Later.